start of every game when you're on defense. They're like, they'll be coming in 30 seconds. I don't. Every time it's like they're gonna be doing what?
Dude, my buddy, same guy. A lot of vocals to this individual, but he'll be in public and he'll just go legendary, or just like every single alt line he just started saying, and it's so funny. But like he says the exact same way. And he has a limiter on his Discord, so like he'll get halfway through Legendary and it'll cut out, and then you'll hear right at the end, and it's the exact same amount every time.
Just a stream key?
It should be the same. It should be the same key. I think you just have to start the. You just have to be in like the live control panel.
Where's the start button? I am.
Okay, I think you're good then. I'm sending
We
it.
get a Mario Kart live stream. I'm down for that.
Oh,
Bro, if a Switch 2 wasn't $700
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
and the game wasn't $80,
Is that how much it really is?
Yeah.
Scalpers, dude.
It's just, bro, not scalpers. That's a base.
that's direct
price
from
of Nintendo.
supplier, bro.
Scalpers, bro.
That's direct from the source.
Scalpers, dude. I swear.
Bro, you just. It's crazy.
Scalpers,
You can
Scalpers,
buy
man.
a game like Legend of Zelda, or you can buy a game like Mario Kart, and they're the same price point.
It's true.
Breath of the Wild, one of the best games released on the Switch, or best games period, the year it was released, is the same price as every single Mario Kart game that is.
Why can't you just use the Switch?
Mario
Why do you have
Kart is the GOAT.
Why do you need to Switch 2?
It's the latest
got
and
updated
greatest.
stuff?
It's the
Because
latest and greatest,
also
man.
120 FPS, latest and greatest. They're gonna stop making games for the normal Switch. Give it a year or two, whatever. But I'm gonna be honest. I ain't paying that much for a Switch too.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy one of them. I very rarely use my Switch, so
Yeah, that's the part that stinks. Is like
Can I tell you something? I've never owned a Switch, which means I've never played the original Pokemon on the Switch, and it makes me so sad.
yo, thanks, Eric.
Wait, what? Say that again?
I never owned a Switch, hence I never played the original Pokemon game for the Switch, which I heard everyone played and it was awesome.
Or you can get...
I'm not a ball
man.
knower.
Or you can get like a Game Boy.
Well, that's
No,
what I mean. I've done the emulators plenty of time, but like the fact that
Oh,
it's like
That's not the same. You got to get a Game Boy, dude.
I know it's not the same, but
Are you talking about like original
moving
Pokemon
your-
on the Switch or like the Pokemon games for
that's
the
what I'm at.
Switch?
That's what I'm curious. Is that what you're saying?
The Pokemon game on the Switch. What did I
Okay,
explain that
but
correctly or
but
not?
is it the one for the Switch or the emulated original?
Alright, so you're talking about
game
Pokemon
you can
Red
play
or
on the
like
Switch?
Pokemon
Why is
Legends?
everyone yelling?
I'm saying
Buddy,
Because
I'll yell.
everyone's talking at the same time.
playing that game on the Switch. I never got a chance to do
So like Pokemon
Okay.
Red.
So yeah, the OG
On the
Pokemon
Switch.
on the Switch.
when they
Okay.
made it 3D on
Oh,
the
no,
Switch.
Okay, I actually want to scream. Are you saying the new game they developed, or are you saying the original Pokemon game?
Can you play the original Pokemon game on the Switch?
Yes, that's the thing we're
The
arguing.
new I'm saying the new one they developed that's based off of the old game.
So are you talking about
Oh my gosh.
No, what's
This-
the it's not the Pokemon game. It's like you catch them. That's it.
No. You
Like
got-
It's like
Pokemon
Pokemon
Snap?
It
Where you take the pictures.
No.
Oh my
It
gosh,
came out
hold
with
on.
Pokemon Go, but on the Switch,
Happy birthday, Louis.
where you see them pop up.
I'm Mac. Who, bro?
Wait,
where's
what did you
Louis?
say?
Oh yeah.
Did you say
said-
happy birthday to Lou?
Yeah, man.
Lulu.
He was sniffing that bag, bro.
Completely disc golf.
Come
I forgot that Corey changed his name.
Yeah, I
to that.
forgot there was a rebrand in effect.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm trying.
Why
I suck
rebrand
Did you
in
this?
also notice my?
Silphco building
I don't have
on
an
fire.
intro anymore.
Oh yeah, I suck. I suck at Pokemon.
You don't have an intro anymore? Apparently I wasn't paying attention.
Happy birthday, Lou.
Lou, I don't
said,
trust you as far
"Where
as
the
I can throw
hose
you,
at?"
buddy.
Say I'm 11.
I'm 11.
Oh, he kind of sniffed it.
He said where the hose at.
He knows where they are.
He
They're down
said,
the
there, he
street.
said it there right now.
Yeah.
But
So-
didn't they?
Said your item
Didn't
out
the
here.
first Pokemon game they made for the Switch was the original, like Pokemon that came out?
Yes and no. It was more like Pokemon Go. Like you didn't really battle the same way as like
So you didn't
Pokemon.
do the. You didn't.
I was
do the
thinking
whole,
of Sword and Shield. I heard a lot of really good things about Sword and Shield on the Switch.
Yes, I heard a lot of things about Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield was the original like Pokemon game style games. And then they came out with like the Pokemon.
We gotta stop using the word
Go.
original. It's messing me up.
No, okay. You know the original Red and Blue?
Yes.
That's what Sword and Shield was like, where you walked up to people and then battled them like pick an attack back and forth. They also came out with like a remastered Red version, which was just Pokemon Go, where you threw the Pokeballs at them and caught them, but there wasn't any battling.
Oh, I see that now.
That's what I was trying to ask. Is
It
like,
was
are you talking about
Pokemon.
the original?
It was Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu.
Yeah, I'm
on
watching.
Mac.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gay.
That's Pokemon Go.
Okay, here's
That's
the
like
thing,
Pokemon
Kyler.
Go.
You got halfway through saying the original, and me and Taylor believed you were talking about Pokemon Red. And then you said, and then they made it 3D. And all of our work went out the window. All of our figuring out what the heck you were talking about was gone.
Max crashing
Dude,
out
the
the
fact
Discord.
that Mac put it in the chat and then also put it in the Discord in all
Yeah,
caps.
It's just like,
Desperate.
please get
He
it
was-
together.
He was furious.
Anyway,
it was Pokemon
welcome to-
Let's Go, Eevee and Pikachu.
this is
Okay,
Talking
read it.
Pokeballs
Thanks, Mac.
with the boys. Welcome to episode 66.
Let's go, baby.
You guys want me to
Alright,
like
I
actually
don't
intro the
think-
podcast and just rip it, bro? Just start yapping.
let's intro the
Dude,
podcast.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure,
give
let's
this
do
a howdy, y'all.
Let's do it.
Wait, do we even have to do picks this week?
Nope.
Nope, no event.
Nothing's going on this weekend.
Major next weekend. Nothing this week.
Got it.
Champions Cup. Howdy, y'all. Welcome to episode 66 of the Unfinished Business Podcast. My name is Taylor, joined as always by Corey, Tyler, and Matt. Let us know your favorite Pokemon game in the comments below, and we may fight you because of it. And Mac is already crashing out, so we're off to a great start. I'm going to start off the podcast with a question we just got in the chat. In my chat from Eric, will Gaden Burr break the all-time majors record before Paul? I say no.
First off,
Is it
we
major?
we can talk about this, but it's way too early to talk about this.
That is
I'm
true.
Just gonna put that.
How many does Paul have? 17 or something like that?
he's
I
got
think
18.
Ken has 18, Paul has 7.
Oh, he's one behind Ken.
Whoa, that's really tough.
I can see.
So
That's
are you
tough
really
because
asking? Are you really asking if
I think Paul gets it
Gannon's
this
gonna
year.
get
Gannon's gonna do it?
14?
Yeah, or are you really just asking if Paul
Like, can
make
Paul win
one
another
more
major?
happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, or I guess 2 if you want to break the record, not tie
Yeah.
the record. That's really the question.
True, it was
Can
break.
Paul make 2 more happen?
I think
Which
Paul
reminds
wins
me,
back to back in Europe this year. 2 majors. Call it done.
Oh my heavens!
Have you seen all those Ovechkin jokes where he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, dude, did you guys notice that Gretzky is 1 goal
Oh,
away
yeah,
from tying Ovechkin? That's so funny.
My guess.
What if,
early
what if
guess would
Ken
be-
gets a major?
Ken just comes back and wins an MPO major.
Wait? Does like the Masters count?
That was the
This
question
is
I was about
this
to
is
ask.
MPO. The record that I Ken 18, Paul 17.
Is it just me or is Taylor going in and out?
Taylor
I
just
can
got
fix
out
it.
Weird.
like
My
an
bad.
admin.
Hold on. Let me fix it.
You're good. I just want to make sure we got that covered.
I like how if
Thank you.
anybody else goes in and out, it's like, oh, their internet sucks. And then if Taylor does, oh, I can fix it. I can fix it.
I can fix it. Don't worry.
I can fix it.
My first reaction. No, Gannon will not do it before Paul does.
Do you think he's gonna get a grand slam?
Gannon?
Gannon?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Too many good players.
That's what we said, and then he played phenomenally last year.
Don't matter. It's still too many
Yeah,
good
but
players.
do you think he can actually get worlds? With the rest of-
Honestly,
like
I think the most likely Ganonburst scenario is he gets to like a Rory situation where it's like he has them all but worlds and like just starts to implode at worlds and like be close and then just it's too much.
That's what I'm feeling.
Because I low key think Ganon could win Champions Cup this year, which like I feel like Champions Cup is such a fraudulent like. I can already see 20 years from now, and we're comparing disc golfers like, well, Paul never won a Grand Slam because he had like 2 Champions Cups before he was 35. It's fraudulent.
Yeah. Mac is changing chats mid podcast. Definitely
He's out here.
confusing as all get out. Career Grand Slam or one season? I think we're saying one season.
I'm
right?
talking about career Grand Slam.
Oh, you're talking about career Grand Slam.
Oh, I'm thinking one season when you said that
Yeah,
for
I
some
was
dumb
also
reason.
thinking one season.
Yeah, I think he'll get it for the career. Yep. Sorry. I was stuck on the big
Oh no, I
picture,
think it's
which is
extremely
getting a-
unlikely anybody does it in 1 year, other than like if Kristen does it this year. But FPO is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, MPO. Yeah, I mean, you think about how many people still need to win worlds. There's so many.
Yeah, it's a long
big,
list.
like Calvin, Eagle, just to name a couple big names.
So I was talking to Robbie C. This is off topic, but he just sent me a message. He said, "Also, is this your number?" And then just sends me the most random number from Maine. And I was like, "No, not at all." He's like, "Shoot." So I think he's been trying to get in contact with me without getting in contact with me.
Interesting.
Anyway, should I bag a mutant?
No.
Well, what do you think about it?
I like it, but off of what you were telling me about it, I don't think it's as stable. Because like the way you made it sound, it was closer to the warp than the ultra. And I would say this is like I feel like I've only thrown a justice once, but I feel like maybe this is a tick more than a justice.
That's
I would.
That's how I would describe it too. Yeah.
But when you were explaining it and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna send it to you, dude. It's crazy." That made me think, "Oh, it's like a warp mid range."
It's more like it's slower than a 5-speed in my opinion. Like it does not want to go far at all.
Okay.
But it's like a slower ultra, I would say, in a sense. But yeah, Justice. The thing about a Justice is that it's really shallow. That's actually a deep disc. So that's the only.
Yeah. Here's my question: like, how close is it to an ultra at that point? Are you throwing it for the same slot as an ultra, or?
Yes, but the ultra right now is so like, I wouldn't say finicky. It's just I can burn over the ultra a lot easier than I want to.
Mm-hmm.
But then is it just slow down a torque to make sure that it doesn't burn over, or do I bag this? In my head, the answer is don't bag this because I have like the perfect amount of discs in my bag right now, and I don't want to add any more because it's going to like throw everything off. But this is also a really cool disc that, yeah.
What I ran into,
that's how I threw it. So the hole was 270 forehand. Like basically you could see the basket straight, but you couldn't go at it straight because there was like guardians slightly to the right. So it was basically kind of dump in. And I threw this flat because I was like, oh, I want to see how stable it is. And I threw it directly at the basket and it landed maybe 30 feet right of the basket, which is kind of what I thought it would do if I threw it directly at the basket. So it was good. But when I texted you like that ain't what I thought it was. It was because I was mentally ready for like, oh, it's a mid-range shaped.
I also hadn't thrown it in about 2 years. So when I was throwing it, I was maxing like 300 feet. So it did feel like a absolute tank.
I don't think I'll go any farther than that. I mean,
I think his max arm speed.
My max arm speed was 300 feet at the time.
Oh, I thought you meant this was.
So it felt super stable for me. Yeah, I didn't throw it recently at all. So
So your max right now, what, 310, 320?
Bro, he's got 330 in him. Come on now.
I got jokes.
325.
325.
What I ran into with that slot is that like I similarly had like a Justice type disc, and I ran into the same
Love the
thing
Justice.
of like how different is it than like my approach disc or slowing down like a Firebird or something like that. And I ended up taking it out of my bag just because I felt like with what I use the Fjord is probably more overstable than a Zone, so it really is kind of more of that like super beefy side. So between that, like the glidey Ultra, like the fraudulent Ultra, the Metal Flake that I carry, and like an overstable-ish 8-9 speed, I felt like I was good.
Yeah. I think outside of one disc, my bag is like literally locked for the entire year already, which is an X Swirl Force.
You're going with that one?
Well, no, that's the TI Swirl that you're talking about.
Okay.
X Swirl is like the old,
Oh, yeah.
the Slipstream GT. This is X Plastic. It's like crazy. Like, I don't know if you can consider this like kind of like pro. I don't know.
Probably.
No idea.
I have X plastic Avenger SSs. I would consider it like a little cheaper feeling than pro, but it's along the same lines. It's a softer than their typical. Yeah.
And I want a Force because everything I've read about the X Force is it's easier to throw because it flips up way easier, but then it still has the reliable dump, which is kind of, it might compete with the composite era, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, that X plastic makes everything way flippier.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It was like that was the only way I could get distance was like 2 years ago, just throwing X plastic Avenger SSs. And they were still like, even at that arm speed, they were going all the way up to flat and cruising. Now it would be really hard to throw it at any kind of power. But you're locked other than that. That's your whole bag. You got to figure it out.
Locked in.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And with the new, because so I got a new bag. That's the old one, Taylor.
Right.
And he's been eyeing it. With the new bag, it's the V2. So they like did the slight modifications. The best modification that I didn't think I was going to like is the putter pouch
Yeah.
lid zips from the other way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it actually hoists your putters better.
What a
They
good
also
word.
made that deeper too. What?
Hoists.
Hoist?
Yeah, I like
It
that.
hoists it. You know, 'cause it goes, yeah, so it hoists your putters up more, but also I feel like the putter pocket is somehow deeper too.
It is. I think it is too.
Yeah, I think it is. I would
Yeah.
agree.
And
I
then
saw yours and compared it to mine when I first got it.
yeah, and a weird thing that I started doing is my approach discs, so my chicane and my warp are in my side pocket now.
Mm.
Don't know why, but I really
You got
like
plenty of
how-
space
But
up
me-
top, right?
I do, but I don't want to overcrowd it. So now it's just putter, inner core, Marvel, and I've got a
Okay.
bunch of room in there.
You got 4. I got
Yeah.
5 that I stashed in there. 2
Yeah.
putting putters, throwing Marvel, throwing P2, throwing chicane.
I like it.
I guess
I
it
get-
does balance out. If you got water in one side and then 2 discs in the other, it probably weight balances pretty decent.
Oh, that's another thing. The new one has that like Velcro divider
yeah, that divider's
inside.
nice.
So I have water bottle, and then I just take my towel and like shove it in the top like divider
Mhm.
spot, and then I've got two discs. It's
Chef's
I like it.
kiss.
I am not sold on the bag after having it for a year now.
Just because it keeps falling over on you.
Contrarian.
Yes.
wait a
opinion.
minute, wait.
It makes me
wait.
so angry.
Do you know what's going out of business?
JC Penney.
Close. Starts with a J. This is the backpack fabric.
Joanne Fabric?
Yeah, Joanne's going out of business.
Oh, Joanne.
But
I like
it
this, man.
It meant that this whole roll thing was like $13.
Nice.
That's actually sick.
For
And
some
there's
reason,
like 4 other Joannes near me that I'm gonna go to.
for
Nice.
some reason, I think if Grip runs another deal, I might be going back to a Grip bag, just because it's the only bag that stands up that I've ever used.
See,
never-
here's the
I've
issue,
never had a
Tyler.
grip.
We live, I mean, me to more of an extreme, but I think you still qualify here, in an area where it's pretty hard to get bags that are regularly sitting up in general. I know people with grip bags that fall over, with squatch bags that fall over in really hilly areas. And like that's the
Are
only
you talking standing up physically or just stand up to like?
When I
Wear
sit it
and tear.
down, I don't want to have to think, okay, I got to angle it like this for it to.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant stands up to like beating it. No. Okay. Sorry.
When I
Um,
played League Monday, I played with 2 guys that had lures and one guy that had like a budget Latitude 64 bag, and I made the comment on like hole 16, like, yo, what's it like to have a bag that stands up when you put it down? But my issue is purely that like the Atlas bags have pseudo supports on the sides that need to be supported with a full, like if I had a full bag of discs, it would be fine. My main pocket has 10 discs in it right now. So it's just loose as a goose, bro.
See, that's definitely the lore. You know, you could literally take every disc out of the main compartment, stack 5 discs up top, zip up the main compartment, and it would still be pretty well, like pretty decently
pretty stable.
You know, that's kind of the nice part about the lore.
I do have a larger bag design that'll fix that issue, Tyler. So
Of course it will.
Just needs
forward-
one angel
forward to it,
investor of $5 million.
I don't need that much, but I definitely know how to fix the issue.
I have a question. What is
I
the
think
general
Scott has a
consensus-
question.
Oh, God.
Oh, Scott does have a question.
What is the general consensus of the new Marvel that came out?
Slightly more stable.
Yeah.
So it would be okay if so the premium is 2302. I would say this is 2302 and a half.
Agreed. Concurred.
That's kind of cool. Does it still will it still fly the same? It's more stable.
Yeah.
You know what
It
I mean?
flies
I-
identical. It
I
flies
like it.
identical. It just 10
Yeah.
to 15 feet more that way.
But I think I like the most about it too is that it still feels like a Marvel. Like I feel like a lot of putters and premium plastics will tend to feel deeper because they kind of mold higher in a premium plastic, but it's very flat and feels really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Mike wanted to know what Discmania made the bag. As of right now, nothing.
Let's
But
go.
that could change. Well, it's not. It's literally like most of my bag was already set in stone from last year because of sponsors. So that's another reason
Right.
that there is a chance that the mutant does go in, because I want to try something slightly different. But I would have to test it. I might do an ultra versus mutant battle video.
Mm.
To see
I got
how
new discs.
different it is.
I got new discs in my bag as of
What'd you get?
today.
What do you have?
Got a couple
do you do?
D1s, and at least one of those things is going in my bag.
Ah.
Those things are sick.
So give me the assessment of those.
I love
threw
those
them
things.
both.
So I
Is a D1 flippier than a D2? Because I'm hearing weird.
no.
No. Okay.
I had back in the day, like back in college, I had a pink D1 that I found that this flies just like both of them, where I can throw that thing as hard as I want to on like just a little hyzer and it'll stand up and it'll like, but it won't turn. It like acts like it wants to turn, but it won't actually turn. And then like the last 10% of the flight, it just tanks and like spikes to the ground. And I love it so much.
It's a nice plastic too.
Yes. Nice and domey. They got a
also-
good glide. Big fan.
Yeah.
Last week I went to Hazy Shade. I was asking about that new, what is it called? The Hype.
Yes.
It's not even out yet.
I know I saw it got approved, but I didn't think it was like out.
I asked, I was like, do you guys have any of the new Pipan disc? He's like, well, which one? And I was like, isn't there like a brand new one? He's like, the Hype? I was like, yeah. He's like, that ain't out yet, but we have 2 that you could feel. And he had like 2 like prototypes.
How'd
were,
they
like,
feel?
They felt good.
Good.
So the I'm going to use Tyler's word. The consensus
Mm.
of the Hype is it is a, I think he said a 10 speed or an 11 speed grunt.
Oh, I'm kind of down for that.
And apparently some of them went out and people were like, hey, this isn't a grunt. I know it says grunt, but this isn't a grunt.
Oh,
And
like
they were
that's they just shipped in. They thought they were grunts.
oh shoot. Oh shoot, this isn't a grunt. So then that's why they're making the new disc, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's funny. That sounds sick though. Speaking of the D1s, I'll just transition us into, I played my weekly challenge today, and I think played one of the worst rounds I've played in recent memory by far.
Man.
I at least 4 holes of the front 9, I spent 15 minutes looking for my tee shot, and like went to, like, if you went to this course and said like, yeah, really the one thing you don't want to do is go to that spot, that's where my disc was. I was in the swamp with Shrek. I threw my Pharaoh into the water. If you haven't seen that reel, it was really bad.
Did you get the Pharaoh back?
I did get it back. Thankfully, so I threw it and it just turned and burned into the water, and I was like, oh, I have my like I have the suction cup like stick. There's a better word for that, I can't think of it, and the full like rope and golden retriever thing. So I went to my trunk to get both of those things, and by then like the wind was blowing enough, like it was a headwind, and just blowing it back to me enough that it was already like by the shore when I had retrieved my items.
Nice.
So I just literally just picked it up.
Nice. So you were supposed to play the hardest course in your area. Was that the case today?
Yeah, this East Skate is like, no one plays it around here because the entire front 9, most of them play around 2 lakes, and it is very like tight and a lot of OB, and I found a lot of it. And I also, I think this is a new record for me in a scored round. My C1X putting percent was 54, I want to say 50 something. It was it was atrocious. It was really, really bad. Which continued, like I played League Monday and birdied the first 4 holes, and then proceeded to like, I think I missed 6 circle 1 putts in that round. So
what are you putting with right now?
The Tomb right now, due to my challenge. it's not going good. It went good for a little bit, but it is not going good right now.
Jeez.
Well, I didn't even do the challenge because I didn't find any time to do it, but I'm hoping to do it maybe this weekend or something. I don't know.
There was a few moments on like holes 4 and 5 today where I genuinely just thought about like, I'll just say I didn't do the challenge today, and I'll just go home.
That's kind of how I felt about the wind lately. It's just been so bad.
All right, so Mike's going to call me out for 2 weeks. So here's the predicament I was in. Last weekend, it was my wife's birthday, and she was extremely ill, which is really sad. So tough. I was taking care of it. I was taking care of everybody. And then this past weekend was Easter weekend and everything like that, and doing stuff with families. So I couldn't find 3 hours to spend after work or in the middle of the workday to go play Iron Hill Longs. So
yeah, that was the tough
Mike.
part.
Sorry,
about
that was inconvenient for you.
That was the tough part of where I play. I've only played, this is the second time I've played this course since I've lived here, and it's a little bit farther of a drive. It was like 35 minutes out there, and then like the round, just that course, I think half the reason people don't play it is it is hard. The other half is it is a hike. Like between the front 9 and the back 9 is almost a full like half mile, 3/4 of a mile walk from 9's pin to 10's tee. Like it is a hike. So I was out there for a while.
So do you think they made the front 9 and then like decided the back 9 later?
It's the best way for the holes that I think they wanted to have to be designed, but I would not be mad if some of the back 9 got redesigned anyway. Honestly, there could be some really cool holes connecting the 2, but that is a very popular fishing spot. Like there's always a ton of people there, so I don't think that would ever work out. But this course specifically, like the front 9 is immaculate. Like it's so good, and then the back 9 isn't like bad. It's just more of like mid.
Okay.
just do a challenge where everyone votes to ban a manufacturer from
Mac's
the back.
Mac's trying to fight.
Speaking of course design, I threw out a thing in the Discord, I think yesterday, talking about a weird hole that I designed. So, okay, the front 9 of the course that, fingers crossed, goes in right by my house, one of 2 courses, is like immaculate. It's got a little bit of everything, some forehand, some backhand, some short holes, some long holes, par 4s. It's great. Then I decided, okay, one of the meetings that I had with city council, this guy was like, this guy's one of my friend's dads. So he's like hyping me up way more than normal. And he's like, you guys got to listen to Corey. Like, this is such a good idea. He's never disc golfed in his life. He golfs, so he understands like the hype around getting like groups out and stuff like that. But he's never played. And I'm just explaining like literally golf, but with Frisbees, and it's easier and cheaper and just fun. So he's freaking out, just like hyping me up. And he's like, so what happens if this 9 just like pops off? Like, are you able to design like a back 9? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, as long as I have like the guidelines of where I'm allowed to go, because parts of the park are like heavily, heavily used all year round. So I decided to make the back 9. And one of the holes is, now, once again, this is a figuratively designed course, so I don't know if this is going to be it. Right. But off of the tee pad, maybe 10 to 15 feet in front of you is a 6-foot gap that I was thinking it would be fun to do a double mando, because it's just 2 trees.
Yep.
That just happen to be there. And then after that, it's wide open except for like a few scattered, like decent sized trees near the basket, but it wouldn't be anything that would like get in your way. It would, you could just like skip behind it maybe, and then you're like, oh, I have a step out putt kind of thing. I was asking if that was a good hole or a bad hole, because I know doing a double mando with a very skinny gap right off of the tee, not everyone's favorite thing.
Let me show you something. Keep talking, but keep talking.
So this would be hole 13, and it's only the longs that would have this gap. The shorts would be like, I think I ended up range finding like 190, but it was wide open. So it's like you would have a little bit of everything. I just thought it was cool to have like one random hole where like you could just nail the tree right off. It doesn't even have to be a double mando. It's just if you put the tee pad there, you're going to want to try and like split the gap. So I want to know how you guys feel.
I'm totally fine with it. There is a hole like that where I live, and I'm trying to find it so I can show you.
Yeah, I definitely, I don't know. I'd be interested to get like a general consensus from like disc golfers about, I feel like mandos.
Dude, we're using that word so much.
Mandos get like just so dinkied on in general, but like I feel like I mind mandos a lot less off the tee. I don't really mind mandos much at all. There's the course I played today. There's a hole where the back 9, they definitely have to do what they can because it's just wide open. Like it's literally just cow pastures out there. But you throw like 300-ish off the tee, just wide open tee shot. And then there's a double mando. It's probably like 20 feet apart once you start to approach the pin, and you have like another, 150 from there that it actually like, you can either like try to rip it off the tee and get to the mando, or a lot of times it's more like an actual placement shot that you actually have to think about and kind of plays as a par 4 versus, just a wide open par 3 or par 4 where you're just kind of ripping a shot with no consequence.
Okay.
Jamie, are you able to pull this up or no? Or is that too much work?
I can. People may see us twice, but I can.
Oh man.
They'll just see us twice.
I wish they would hear your echo voice.
I can turn that on too. Completely corn Bob.
So funny.
All right, so here we go. Sorry. So this is a mando right here. And I know in the caption down here it doesn't say, but this tree right here as well is the other Mando. When you play tournaments.
So think of that, but maybe a few feet closer to the T-pad.
That seems like no problem. Like this will get in your head. I will 100% tell you that, because what it is the basket is way down here, tucked in behind these trees. So you throw a flex forehand shot through this gap. So you're looking at the gap the whole time. That's what you're supposed to play. Flex forehand to get you way over here, and then come back behind those trees. It never happens, but that's ideally what you want to do.
So this hole that I'm would be 250, 260-ish, and it would be either a forehand or a slight turnover. Like I would say it's maybe 10 degrees off of dead straight. Like It's not much, but it's enough for like, I mean, I thought it was just a cool hole.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to this hole, to be clear, but like the thing that I think can come up with, depending on how the guardian trees are, is like I do like holes where there's a kind of even set of guardian trees around the basket, and it's up to you as a player to say like, oh, it's actually better if I throw a little farther and get past these trees.
Yeah.
Then I have a straight thing back. And if the Mando severely limits that, or the guardian trees are that level of severe, then it becomes a little touchy. But if the guardian trees aren't that many, or the Mando doesn't limit it that much, it doesn't matter. But like, I know.
I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna go there and film it. Like, I don't know about. Yeah, I'll probably make a shot or two, but just filming the actual layout of the hole, because eventually I want to film the entire 18 holes because it's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
But then at least you guys would understand what I'm talking about, because maybe you look at it and you're like, oh no, that's really cool. I don't know. Ugh.
No, I think I don't know. I've never minded Mandos.
Okay, hold on. I got one more. I got one more thing. I got one more thing, and it's also about Mandos. So I was thinking, a lot of courses have like the longs and the shorts. Have you ever seen a course have like shorts, longs, and then like harder longs, but it's from the same T-pad? Does that make sense? So like here, let me describe this, because this is a little hard.
It's cooking.
So the shorts would be just the shorts. Okay. The longs would be technically the whites. So reds, whites, and then the blues would be you're playing from the long T-pads, but like maybe some of the softer par fours are now par threes. Some of the holes that don't have Mandos have Mandos because you're playing like the expert layout kind of thing. So maybe you'd throw that shot, and it's not a double Mando with the trees. So technically you could throw like around the trees if you can. I got to go see if you can even do that. But then from the blue layout, it is a double Mando. From the blue layout, this one hole you have to throw from like one side or the other of a tree. So it's like a specific Mando. Have you ever heard of that? And or does that sound nice?
I feel like I've heard of it.
I have heard of that, but it's not. Yeah, it's not a direct thing that's made. It's just like over time they put that in, and occasionally you'll hear in a tournament they're playing like this specific layout. They have like a name for it, and that's the pars are a little harder. There's extra Mandos.
Yeah, because I would like to do that if this course goes in. Obviously, I'm going to be doing the UDisc like mapping and everything, and I would love to actually do a reds, whites, and blues. And the blue would just be like, because there's a couple par fours that are like somewhere between 430 and maybe 500, somewhere like that. But there's at least one of them, I think it's 430. At the very end, maybe 100 feet before the basket, it slightly goes down like hill. So if you crest that hill, you're basically getting to the basket. So you could play that as par 3. And it would be really fun.
Right.
So I don't know.
I know a local course that does a T-pad, the first basket, a T-pad, the second basket, and then you can play from the first to the second. And so it's like
I like
you can either play The holes are actually pretty decent. The course itself, there's a couple weird ones, but it makes it really easy for tournaments because for juniors, you can just be like, you guys aren't going to play the long par 4. You're going to play one of the shorter par 3s. And then like for pace of play, it's really convenient for that. But it's tough to balance that. Like they have some really good holes on the short courses and some really kind of crappy holes, but it's an interesting design.
Yeah. I plan on getting Mac out to play this course with me, even if the basket's not there. Or I'll bring a basket and just walk it to each side. But I want to see what I just don't want to cry because I know he's going to rip into like, why would you do that?
I want to play a couple games with you guys real quick. Can I do that?
Oh,
absolutely.
Of course.
Okay.
Fiend for some games.
I want to call you names.
You can if you want to. It's up to you.
Like daddy.
You can call me daddy. That's whatever you want. What's the saying? It says where it's like you can call me something, but you just can't call me. It was a saying.
Can't call me for dinner.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Anyways, I did notice Joseph Anderson is now going by Joey Buckets on the PDGA website.
Yeah, and then he didn't wear a bucket hat this weekend.
I know.
Yeah, why did he look like freaking what's her name?
Haley King.
Haley King.
Bro, Haley King.
All right.
MPO this
we're gonna play. We're gonna play a game. All right.
I'm ready.
Who are you more concerned about? So I'm gonna give you two players, and you have to pick one. And then as a group, we're gonna stick with that player, and then I'm gonna name another player. And so we're gonna keep going down until we see who the last guy is that we're concerned with.
What is this? Define how we are selecting this person.
Long-term physical health.
I mean, it's up to you. Like, who are you concerned
just
about?
Like,
are you concerned about them right now at this point in time in the year? Are you concerned about them?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So we're talking like scoring and or just in general, like
no scoring wise. We're not putting anybody on suicide watch or anything like that. If that's
no. I mean, in general, as in like maybe they don't ever win, but they're usually in like a bracket, and maybe they're just not that good.
Well, it's up to you. It's under your own discretion about what you want to choose.
I guess it depends on who you're saying. So
okay, I'm going to start off, I think, light, and then I'll start getting into some deeper players that I think maybe are more polarizing in that area. All right, ready? Ricky Wysocki or Paul McBeth?
I love this.
Concerned for?
Bro said I'll start off light and then gave us the big